Hey everybody, welcome once again to NoDQ&A video right here on youtube.com/NoDQ&AV, and as always, NoDQ.com. We are coming off the post-SummerSlam edition of WWE Raw from Fresno, California, and I wanted to get a little cheap plug out there for the Doghouse Grill, a really good barbecue place near Fresno State, so if you're ever in that area, make sure you check it out, Doghouse Grill. But enough with that, let's get right down to your questions. Did Brock Lesnar really quit WWE, or is it just a storyline to keep him off TV? Just a storyline. WWE needed to get Brock Lesnar off of television, and Lesnar has a limited number of dates on his contract. I'm guessing that we'll probably see him around the Royal Rumble. Perhaps we'll see him at Survivor Series. Who knows? But yeah, I actually thought it was kind of lame the way they did it, just having him go on tout and announcing that he quit and he's got nothing left to prove. I think that they could have done something better from a creative standpoint, but who am I to judge? But I'll talk more about tout in a minute. I was almost going to call it trout. Tout, whatever it's called, who cares? This is from Young EZ. Hey Aaron, do you think Dolph Ziggler's match with Jericho and ending his contract was a way for Jericho to leave in a blaze of glory and go on tour? And what does it do for both superstars? Please answer on video. Actually, like the Brock Lesnar situation, I thought that the way that WWE handled this with Chris Jericho was not very original, and they could have done a better job with it. I mean, just out of nowhere announcing that if Jericho loses, his contract is terminated, which they've done this storyline before with Jericho where he lost a match and was fired. So not very original. I wasn't a huge fan of it. And also, if you're gonna do this type of stipulation where if Jericho loses, he has to leave, they should have done it at SummerSlam. Jericho's contract versus the Money in the Bank contract. Why do it on free TV? You should have done it on the pay-per-view. So I wasn't a big fan of that. I think they should have just had Dolph Ziggler lay out Chris Jericho and that be the end of Jericho for a while. Just wasn't a big fan of it. See here. Hey Aaron, love your videos. What do you think about the whole tout thing? Personally, if you ask me, I think it's stupid and it takes time out of the show. Your thoughts? I agree with you, but the fact is WWE has this relationship with tout. I think they actually own part of the company, or they have some sort of share with it. So WWE is invested in tout financially, and they have a partnership, so WWE has to promote it as much as possible and try to increase its popularity. But yeah, I don't think tout is good for WWE in the long run or even the short run. Going back to that Brock Lesnar video, when I was watching Raw, I was forwarding through some of the filler stuff, and I actually missed the part where Brock they showed the video of Brock quitting on tout. I missed it. I had to go back and watch it. So I can imagine a lot of people actually just fast forwarding through Brock quitting. That's supposed to be a major storyline, and you're just doing it in this like throwaway tout segment and then quickly cutting to commercial. Makes no sense to me. And you know, a lot of people are going to be wondering what the hell happened to Brock Lesnar because it's not explained what happened to him, and some people might have missed it. And another thing about tout too is I was actually watching some of the video responses, and I don't think it makes WWE look good when you see some of these people responding, and it's kind of embarrassing. And no offense to the people that are submitting video responses, but they come off like the markest of marks, and I don't know. If it was me, I wouldn't want the mainstream to see WWE fans in this light, you know. Just I don't think it's good for sponsorships, and you know, possible sponsors out there see that this is what represents the WWE audience. They're not going to want to do business with WWE. Just my opinion. So I'm not a big fan of the tout thing. This is from the name Davis. Hey Aaron, just watched the latest NoDQ&A video. What if WWE had Antonio Cesaro retire the US title and bring back the European title? That way it still balances out the number of titles. Your thoughts? You know what? That actually would not be the worst idea in the world, to have him come out and say, I'm getting rid of the US title and I'm going to make it the European title. And that would be a great way to generate heel heat for him. So I actually think that's a good idea, and then you could have somebody try to win it back and make it the U.S. title again. I have no problem with that idea at all. So I think it's a good one. This is from King of Da 812. Hey Aaron, been a fan of your site for a while, but haven't really kept up with your videos lately. Anyways, I was wondering about your opinion of Dino Bravo. Dino Bravo was, I mean, the guy was built like a tank. He was really put together, but he didn't really have much else besides that. I mean, his promos were really bad more times than not, and he had to have a manager with him most of the time. And in the ring, his matches were not good for the most part. So I wasn't a huge Dino Bravo fan. I think it was more cosmetics that got him over, the fact that he just looked like a tank and he was built like one. But beyond that, I don't think there was much value in him, to be honest with you. This is from James Mania 88. Do you think that the social ambassador gimmick for Raw is WWE trying to reintroduce the guest host gig, and do you think it will be successful? I think it'll be successful to some degree. I'm not sure it's just a way of trying to reintroduce the guest host concept, but it is a way for WWE to get more publicity and perhaps more people tuning in. I mean, the Kardashian girl, whatever her name is, who did the tweeting last night, she has 5 million followers, so it doesn't hurt WWE to get that exposure and have her tweeting to her followers, and maybe some of those people who aren't wrestling fans will tune into Raw to see what she's talking about. So I don't see it as a big negative unless WWE is paying her a lot of money to do it, in which case I would pass. But WWE is trying to expand their audience, and they're trying to do it through social media. So I see nothing wrong with that. This is from Nikki Sturzu. Looks like CM Punk, after his heel attack on Jerry Lawler, is basically turned heel. Do you think that at the end of the upcoming rivalry between Punk and Cena, we could see a special match between them, like the Iron Man match at the end of Cena versus Orton? Absolutely. I could very well see the match at Night of Champions, CM Punk versus John Cena, and them having a follow-up match. I mean, they're expected to be feuding for the rest of the year at this point. So I suspect we'll see a lot of John Cena versus CM Punk matches for the rest of the year. So that they got to do a big stipulation match at some point. Night of Champions will just be a regular title match, and then you have Hell in the Cell coming up. So I fully suspect that we'll see CM Punk versus John Cena, Hell in the Cell, and then maybe even another match at Survivor Series. Maybe they could do an Iron Man match for that. Who knows? But I do see it being dragged out, and we're going to see several matches between those two over the next several months for sure. This is from BJ Nation. Hey Aaron, do you think WWE should make Mysterio and Sin Cara a tag team? Despite being over with the fans, I think Rey is kind of getting lost in the shuffle, and I think this would reinvigorate his character. Please answer in video. I think that's a good idea. The thing about Rey Mysterio, why he's getting lost in the shuffle, is that, he has the injuries, he has the strikes, he's had the suspensions, and WWE's just not going to invest in him all the way at this point. And they're trying to focus on new talent, but that would be a really good idea to put Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara as a tag team, and you're trying to rebuild the tag team division, so why not? I think it's a great idea, and a lot of people want to see Rey Mysterio versus Sin Cara. Hopefully both of them are able to stay healthy. I mean, that would be a great match for WrestleMania 29, and a good way to build up to it would be to have them as a tag team for several months, and then have something happen where they split up, and then that leads to WrestleMania. That would work out really well, I think. But it all depends on the health of both guys. Will both of them be able to stay healthy and not get suspended, and any number of things. So we'll have to wait and see where things go with that. All right, that'll wrap it up for this edition of NoDQ&A video. Thanks as always for watching. Make sure you subscribe. YouTube.com/NoDQCAW. You could follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Facebook.com/NoDQDOTCOM, and same thing for Twitter, Twitter.com/NoDQDOTCOM. You can add me on my personal Facebook, Facebook.com/AaronRift, and stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest in WWE and TNA. We have No Surrender coming up next month, so stay tuned for the very latest regarding that pay-per-view. and I'll see you guys next time for No DQ&A video.